All right, we go back to our leading story now as questions are asked on what to do with miners still underground at the Stilfontein mine. Earlier today, the police minister and other officials engaged with community members for a way forward. I'm joined now by Sabelo Mnguni, who is the National Administrator of the Mining Affected Communities United in Action. Sabelo, very good evening to you. You were in that meeting earlier with the Minister of Policing. It did get quite heated as well. What were your concerns that arose from this meeting?
Thank you, Matt. Good evening to you and the viewers at home. So, as a movement, Mining Affected Communities United in Action Makua, during the presentation, one of the concerns that we had was the narrative, the continuous narrative of the xenophobic narrative that the minister's messaging was more focused on that many of the or majority of the Zamazamas are foreign nationals. He kept repeating that message. The second concern was not being clear as to when will the rescue plan will actually start, particularly the extractive side of things, when we take people from underground and resurface them. So those are concerns. The third concern was the lack of showing the agency in terms of identifying or regarding the Zamazamas as people, as human beings. The narrative of bringing in their nationality vis-a-vis the current situation that they're facing. The issue of what is happening in Stilfontein is the issue of life and death. So that thing of focusing on their nationality as to saving their lives was some of the concerns that was around the room, generally amongst many community members.
And I hear you, Sabelo. However, also the minister did say that, and he went at length to talk about the element of human rights as well, saying that the police are mandated, of course, also by their oath and the Constitution, that they have to conduct their work in a manner that also upholds the human rights of those individuals as well. So he has said he agreed with what you're saying as an organization and as a community that was concerned about that element of it. Another question that he posed to say was that, where do you want the police resources to go? Do you want the police resources to go to waiting for illegal miners to resurface, or should those police resources be deployed to other matters of importance that deal with crime? I mean, just today we had our crime stats released for Gauteng. This week we also had the national crime stats released as well. So what would your answer be to that, to the minister, when he asks the question, as a community in Stilfontein that is affected by this, rightfully so, where would you like us to deploy our resources and how should we be dealing with this?
No, thank you very much. First and foremost, the issue of Operation Valamkot is the issue that was supposed to be led by the department in question, which is the Department of Mineral and Petroleum Resources, DMPR. Is the department that should be leading this operation. So that department knows what is needed to be done and knows the effort that have been taken by Makua and other stakeholders who've been pursuing the legalization of artisanal mining. So in terms of the resources of the police, their mandate is clear, as the minister has put it, is to ensure there's law and order in the country, there's safety amongst the community members, everyone living in a safe and orderly society. So at this moment in time, we can safely say as a movement that they are misusing their resources by conducting or embarking on an operation. Sorry. So the issue of mining or the issue of Zamazama is a political economic issue. It's an economic issue and a social problem. It's not a criminal element as they brand it. People will go underground or people embark in informal or unlawful activities, in particular in terms of mining, are people who've been mining before, are people who are living in poverty. There's a high rate of unemployment as much as the high rate of crime. Crime is more of an organic problem that comes as a result of poverty, of being unemployed. I'm not justifying, we are not justifying criminality, so we are not protecting criminality that is surrounds the sector, the artisanal sector. Yes, there is a criminal element. We wish the police to ensure that they embark with every stakeholder in ensuring that we regulate the sector. In regulating the sector, we'll have systems that will ensure how do we deal with the criminalities that are within the sector itself. So at this moment in time, yes, they are misusing the resources by embarking on a process that is not of their mandate in terms of the scope of work. The MPR is the one who's supposed to be dealing with illegal mining, who's supposed to be dealing with the relic mines, who's supposed to be dealing with the reputation of mining in South Africa.
Yeah, and I hear you, but also it is the responsibility of the police to also deal with illegality. And if the mining is done illegally so, because as it stands, it is still illegal mining, even though we do understand those points as well, there is a high unemployment rate. There is a socioeconomic problem here as well that we are facing. However, factually right now, it is illegal though. So the police do have a mandate to actually get involved in this. Are you saying that they're wasting their resources, they should turn a blind eye on something that actually is in fact illegal?
No. Definitely that's not what we are saying. We are not saying they should turn a blind eye in terms of criminality or illegality. If you paid attention to the minister today, he rarely used the term illegal. He kept referring to unlawful. I think that those who are expecting, they will tell us between the difference of, so when say something is illegal or something is unlawful. Remember, the artisanal sector itself is unregulated at the moment in time. That's where we are embarking on campaigns as civil society organizations, particularly as Mako, to regulate the sector, to deal with these illegalities. So when criminal or these illegal activities taking place in any sector, the police should be the first person. So here we are talking about mining. So when it comes to mining, the TMR should be leading, then the police should be behind the Department of Petroleum and Resources to ensure that when even the minister did mention it in his speech that when they were developing this Operation Valamkoti, there are elements that they left behind. They didn't consider issues of socio-economic challenges that we face as mining-affected communities. Particularly, remember when mine ceases to operate in your community becomes a ghost town. So meaning the local economy itself drops. So understand. So there were a lot of elements that were left behind, of which the minister did acknowledge, of which we appreciate him for doing that. It shows that the message that we've been sending, the message that we've been advocating on in terms of legalizing, ensuring that we benefit as mining affected communities in this mining sector. It seems as if our message went through to them. So we appreciate that element, but we remain firm in terms of criminalities or illegalities. The police the law should take course. As a movement, we are a movement that works with accountability. One of the missions or the visions of Makua is to ensure there's accountability in the mining sector, particularly in terms of communities vis-a-vis mining in the state. So we can't be sitting here advocating for illegality.
And I think, I mean, the DMRE has indicated that, of course, they will be assisting to register more artisanal miners as well, so that it's also better regulated too. But for those who are still underground right now, Sabelo, who are still underground in the Stilfontein mine there, where to from here?
That's a big question. We were expecting that today, when the minister's announcing, will be announcing the exact date as to when the extraction is commencing. So he left that responsibility with the tax team that he established, that is led by the MEC of Community Safety and Transport Management. So in that meeting, they were supposed to be meeting. Hopefully, there will be a clarity. At this moment, they are left in the limbo, to be honest. It's not clear when the extraction will start, what is their condition at the moment. So at the moment, we are not sure what is their condition. Obviously, they're desperate. They want to come out from underground to resurface. There are those who are resurfacing in other shafts, which is not connected to the shaft that is in question, which is shaft 11, where people are trapped. Those who are emerging in other shafts are people who are not in shaft 11, and some of the shafts are not connected as much as the messaging is being sent as to say people can use Margaret to image, people can use shaft 10 to image. Underground, it's not easy as it is on a topsoil to say you can embark from point A to point B. It's very complicated underground. The whole shaft are not good. So we are concerned that the longer we take, the more we lose life. As to how many people are still alive at the moment in shaft 11, we are not sure.
Sure. Sabelo, thank you so much for your time this evening. Really appreciate it.